Hey everyone, this is one of those kind of informal videos, just kind of an update of the 10,000 hours project that I've got going, which will take a lot of time. I haven't had a whole lot of time to really get into this. The last video was about 2 weeks ago, and from that time, the amount of time that I've come up with practice since then is about 44 and a half hours. So a pretty big deal from that. Um, I've still been working on that one um, little lick, and I'm not completely warmed up right now with this technique, but it's coming along. Um, I've kind of abandoned the finger picks as of right now until I can find some that I think will fit my fingers better. So I'm gonna have to do more research just on that. The ones that I was using was real. They kept scratching the strings and it was driving me crazy. So I've done away with those. Although I see the use in them. I do play a lot faster with the fingers. They're just not catching as much. And I don't like to grow my nails or anything or do any kind of care as of right now. So I've ignored that. Um, some other things I decided to start doing was start learning like Bebop Heads using this technique. Uh, the first one I did was Yardbird Suite, which is fairly easy. Just kind of going through that one. Now I'm working on confirmation with this, which is working out. I'm getting better at it. The problem that I'm having is when it comes time to solo, I don't have a whole lot of chops with this, especially up to speed. But it's been kind of good in a way because it's making me slow down my playing and maybe kind of reevaluate some of my playing to get all together where I'm, you know, actually going back and trying to, all I've got is some licks, so I'm kind of growing kind of my arsenal of licks, which I'll have a whole thing in that practicing series on my philosophy of on licks and jazz improv. But it's good. I'm learning some different things. Some things I am starting to get up to speed with my normal picking with this. Once I'm pretty well and warmed up after a little while. Uh, but yeah, I've also been doing some other things, some actual finger style things. I have Tommy Emmanuel's, I think it's finger style milestones or something like that. It was a True Fire course, and I've started working on that. I've gotten pretty good at doing the bass line with kind of that Charleston rhythm. Make sure I can do it. I messed it up. I'll start again. So I'm basically doing a blues in E. So that took a quite a bit of time to get that down. You can see I'm still pretty rusty at it. I don't have it that great. Sometimes I can play it a little bit faster. So that's coming along. I also started looking more at doing like a 1/5 bass thing while playing a melody to a song. So I've started working on Autumn Leaves. And I think that's where I kind of stopped with that. I can't remember what I did after that, but it's coming together. I'm not working on this as hard as I originally thought I was going to. I'm going to try to hear more, closer. But basically, I've been averaging about 2 hours a day. There was one weekend where I didn't, I was so busy I didn't get any time to practice at all. And I'm wearing the perfect shirt for that. It says "Tell it to the audience." So if I show up to a gig and say, "Oh, I didn't have time to practice," it's on me. You know. Um, so yeah, this is actually my teacher's shirt that he sells. His name's Jeff Sherman. It's one of his famous quotes. People that know me personally probably take lessons with him or know him. But it's always that's a good line there. But yeah, it's coming together. Just under 50 hours of practice. I'm pretty happy with what I've got going on. Um, I've been trying to go through everything that I would practice normally with a pick. I'm doing my scales. Some scale patterns are a lot easier if I can play this one right, but I have an easier time playing this with my fingers actually than I do with my pick. Oops, sorry. So that's, I just find that it's a little bit easier. It's not that I can play it faster with my fingers. But it's a lot easier to do that. There's very little effort in that. And when I've got the finger picks on, I can actually play that faster. It's just I got to find out, how to wear those. So I'm sure that'll take some practice and getting used to them. But yeah, I did a jam with a guy a couple nights ago, and I decided, I might as well try with this technique, and we practiced for about 2 hours, and I never got to a point where I was like, oh, I really need more speed. I've been practicing pretty slow, so when I needed the speed, it just kind of happened. Either that, or I, used a lick that I'd been working on with this, or whatever. So my playing wasn't the most original ever, but it was still melodic. I think it would probably pass if I was at a real job. So so again, just under 50 hours, I'm pretty happy with this technique. And if anybody's watching this that's considering picking up the guitar, this isn't a very true experiment because I've been playing for like 15 years. So this hand has a lot of experience at this point. So it's not completely starting from scratch. But this hand was pretty terrible when I first started. So um, anybody that's viewing this, this is about 50 hours of practice. I think it's 44 and a half right now. I have to look at my notebook. That's not a great deal of time. It's about 2 hours a day. But hopefully that'll motivate somebody to decide that yeah they can do it with enough practice. Finding a good teacher that kind of help guide them in the right path. But anybody I think can play an instrument. I don't think it's reserved for any particular person or personality type or anything. It's just about how much you want to do it. Same thing with sports. And that goes for anybody just watching this video in general. I hope it inspires you to kind of decide to go through with something, and that all you got to do is put in the time to make that happen and stay true to it. So again, this is kind of just a little informal video, just kind of an update on what I'm doing with this, and hopefully it keeps growing. But I'm pretty excited about it so far, and I'll keep doing these videos. So I'll catch you guys later.